You're tuned into The Best, your one-stop destination for the most intriguing stories. Today, we're counting down the 10 biggest American bank robberies, a thrilling ride through audacious plots and colossal payouts. Prepare to be amazed as we delve into the world of daring heists and staggering loot. Our journey begins in 1972, in Laguna Niguel, California. A quiet, affluent community becomes the center of one of the most audacious bank heists in American history, the United California bank burglary. The mastermind behind this daring escapade was none other than a seasoned criminal, alarm specialist Emil Dincio, along with his crew of seasoned burglars. They meticulously planned the heist, drilling into the United California Bank's vault from a rented townhouse above. The loot? A staggering $9 million in cash and valuables, a sum unheard of in those days. However, their victory was short-lived. A combination of ostentatious spending and an informer led the FBI straight to them. Arrests were made, and a significant portion of the loot was recovered. But the legacy of the United California bank burglary lives on, a testament to the audacity of some to defy the odds. This daring heist set the tone for the audacious robberies that were yet to come. We travel next to the East Coast for a heist that rocked the nation. Welcome to the year 1976, when the audacious Purolator vault burglary took place. It's the stuff of true crime legend. A group of daring criminals, led by the infamous James Dincio, managed to infiltrate the Purolator vault in New Jersey. The loot? A staggering $22 million. It wasn't just the scale of the heist that was impressive, it was the sheer audacity of it. The gang had dug a tunnel into the vault, bypassing the security systems with an ease that left the authorities scratching their heads. The aftermath was equally as dramatic. With such a high-profile crime, the FBI was hot on their heels. Despite their best efforts, the majority of the stolen money was never recovered. This audacious heist left the nation in shock and the authorities baffled. The Purolator vault burglary wasn't just a crime. It was a daring display of criminal ingenuity that would go down in history. Next on our list is a heist that took the term underground quite literally. Now let's dive into the depth of the Banco Central burglary of 2005. Considered one of the largest heists in history, this brazen act took place in Fortaleza, Brazil. A group of audacious criminals known as the Tunnel Gang spent 3 months digging a tunnel from a rented house to the bank. Their effort paid off, and they managed to steal an estimated $70 million. The aftermath? Well, it was as messy as the tunnel they dug. Police managed to apprehend a few of the criminals, but much of the loot remains unaccounted for. The ringleader, Antonio Jusevan-Reis, was eventually caught and sentenced to several years in prison. Yet the audacity and meticulous planning that went into this heist left a mark on the annals of crime history. This ingenious heist proved that sometimes the best way in is from below. Returning to California, we revisit a heist that shook the state to its core. The second United California bank burglary didn't just make headlines, it became a legend. The audacious thieves, undeterred by their previous run-ins with the law, once again targeted the United California Bank, this time with even more ambitious plans. The loot from this heist was staggering. Millions of dollars in cash, priceless jewels, and irreplaceable personal items were taken, leaving the bank and its patrons reeling. The criminals involved were a cunning crew of seasoned heist experts, their identities remaining a mystery for some time after the heist. The aftermath of this event was a whirlwind of investigations, arrests, and court trials. It sent shockwaves through the banking industry, leading to significant changes in security measures. This audacious heist proved that lightning can indeed strike twice. But as we'll see, the saga of the United California bank burglaries is far from over. We now travel to Boston for a heist that shook the city. The year was 1955 and the stage was set for the Great Brinks garage robbery. A meticulously planned operation, this heist involved 11 men who, under the cover of darkness, managed to infiltrate the Brinks garage. The loot? A staggering $2 million in cash, checks, and money orders. The criminals involved were no ordinary thugs. They were shrewd, organized, and disciplined. Their leader, Tony Pino, was a seasoned burglar who knew the value of careful planning. They spent 2 years studying the garage, learning every nook and cranny, every routine, every security measure. Despite the magnitude of the crime, the aftermath was bleak. It took authorities 6 years to finally apprehend the culprits, but by then, most of the money was never recovered. This daring heist showed that sometimes, the best laid plans do indeed pay off. Next, we visit Los Angeles for a heist that's straight out of a Hollywood movie. We're talking about the infamous Dunbar Armored Facility heist of 1997, a crime that shook the core of American security establishments. The mastermind behind this audacious act was none other than Alan Pace, a former regional safety inspector for Dunbar. Pace, familiar with the facility's security systems, carefully orchestrated the heist, evading cameras and alarms while making away with a staggering $18 million in cash. The crew swiftly moved the loot without leaving a trace. However, in the aftermath, their perfect crime began to unravel when a real estate broker reported a large cash purchase. This led to a domino effect of evidence linking back to Pace and his crew. Eventually, all were apprehended and the majority of the stolen money was recovered. This audacious heist showed that sometimes the inside man is the most dangerous. Returning to California, we revisit a heist that once again rocked the state. The United California Bank, a symbol of economic stability, was yet again the target of a cunning and audacious burglary. This time, the criminals had their eyes on a bigger prize. They swooped in under the cover of darkness, their every action a testament to meticulous planning and flawless execution. The loot? A staggering sum of money and priceless artifacts, leaving the bank and its patrons in a state of disbelief and shock. The criminals involved were a seasoned group of thieves, their identities hidden behind layers of deception. Their audaciousness was only matched by their expertise, leading to an aftermath that saw them eluding justice for a significant amount of time. This audacious heist showed that for some, crime does indeed pay. But remember, every action has its consequences, and in the world of high-stakes crime, those consequences can be dire indeed. We now visit a heist that's a little different from the rest. In the early morning hours of March 18, 1990, a pair of thieves dressed as Boston police officers entered the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. With a ruse involving a supposed disturbance, they tricked the guards into letting them in. Once inside, they rounded up the guards and secured them in the basement. They then had free reign of the museum for a staggering 81 minutes. The thieves made off with 13 pieces of art, including works by Vermeer, Degas, and Rembrandt. To this day, the stolen art, valued at an estimated $500 million, remains missing. The criminals left few clues, and despite an ongoing investigation and a $10 million reward, the identity of the thieves and the whereabouts of the art still remain a mystery. This audacious heist showed that sometimes art can indeed be priceless. And that brings us to the end of our thrilling journey into the world of bank heists. We've walked the shadowy path of some of the most audacious and daring criminals in American history. From the infamous United California Bank burglary, the cunning Purolator Vault burglary, to the meticulous planning behind the Banco Central burglary. We've revisited the United California Bank burglary not once but twice, each time revealing a new layer of complexity. Then there was the audacious Great Brinks garage robbery, the strategically brilliant Dunbar Armored Facility heist, and the bold yet baffling Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist. Each of these audacious heists has left an indelible mark on the annals of American crime history, painting a vivid picture of daring, audacity, and sometimes sheer luck. The question is, which of these heists intrigued you the most? Was it the cunning, the audacity, or the unbelievable twists and turns that caught your attention? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So feel free to drop a comment below and share your take on these fascinating stories. And if you've enjoyed this journey as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to subscribe to The Best and ring the bell so you never miss out on our intriguing stories. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.